So anybody listening to this right now, I need you to be confident in you. Like when you wake up, I need you to bet on you. You in Las Vegas, you at the casino right now, and they got your name on a table. I need you to put all chips on you every day that you wake up. Don't care about your haters. Don't care about who don't believe in you. You just right now, you have tunnel vision and you lock in on your dreams and your goals and you give it everything you got. But just get up every day and be grateful that you have the capability to really go towards your dream or to be working within your dream.
I'm Luke, and you're listening to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. Welcome back to another episode, guys. It's freaking awesome to have you with us. Today is the start of the best of the rest of your life because I'm going to introduce you to somebody who has inspired me, motivated me, has had my back, someone who was there for me when I needed some support. I needed some light. I needed some inspiration. His name is David Powertalk. He's from New York. And I want to welcome you, David, to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. Again, it's a blessing to have you with us, man.
Yes, man. Thank you for having me.
So guys, just so you know, David is a motivational speaker. He's an entrepreneur. He's a hustler. He's been through some shit, man. But his power and energy and his growth as well. Like, I mean, we've had each other's back since early 2019 or late 2018. And, you know, a part of my success is because he's been in my life, right? And that's why I always say, you know, surround yourself with the right people, people that are going to inspire you and lift you up, man. So, yeah, thanks, David, for being so powerful and for not giving up on yourself, man, because I know that you've been through a lot. But why don't you just quickly start by sharing with us like a little bit about your story, because I know that obviously this is not the first time on the Luke Mind Power Podcast, but how have you managed to continue to persevere? And like, you know, I know that there's ups and downs, bro. There's like, you're not supposed to have it all figured out straight away. It's not all supposed to work for you straight away. There's like a battle of like getting away from the old version of you to becoming the new version of you and continuously persevering. Yeah, fill us in, man.
Definitely, man. I want to say 3 words. Everybody that's listening, get back up. Get back up. And Luke just said something that actually was going to lead me into the segment of where I'm at right now, and that's transformation. As I've been through my ups and my downs in life, anybody that's listening, every point of your life is really meant to transform you to the next level of your life if you allow it to take you to the positive and not the negative. So if anybody have never heard my story before, David Powertalk, motivational speaker, right? I dealt with severe childhood trauma between mother, father on drugs. One grandmother told me I couldn't live with her, had to live with another grandmother. My mother died of a heart attack. My father died of cancer. I had a best friend of mine that passed away in a stolen car. So I've been through a lot of different things in my life, childhood, and then, of course, as an adult, entrepreneur, right? I got a degree in engineering, but what happens? No mentor, no coach. Lost everything. Wanted to commit suicide in the garage, bottle of pills, right? Because I didn't cherish this 4-letter word, life. And because I was allowing temporary problems to make me lose track of the permanent blessing that's waiting for me. And that is right now being on this podcast, telling my story, because you never know how your story is going to help somebody else. So I'm going to say this again, anybody that's listening, get back up. I'm really the king of getting back up, right? So I've been through a lot of different things, and these in business, you know, I went to a point where I almost lost my whole company, right? And I just walked away from social media for about a year to kind of regroup and get things back right, to get my life right, and also to get me right. So I talk about I have a shirt on that says, we win or we win. So what that means is this, right? Every low point in your life, you're winning. Every midpoint, you're winning. Every high point, you're winning. You need every point of your life to be the winner, to be the champion that you truly are for why you're on this earth. You're on this earth for a bigger purpose, not because of a temporary problem, not because of something that you feel like is bringing you in a negative spirit or a negative mindset, because I've been there. I've been at that point Or I felt like I wanted to give up. I just wanted to quit. I didn't want to get out of bed. But however, like Luke, he asked me, he said, David, what motivated, what pushed you to keep going? And I will say, even my wife said this to me. She said that you have this mindset that no matter what happens, you're going to figure a way to get back up and to keep fighting, no matter how your back is against the wall or how much is on your shoulders or anybody else would have just fold with all that pressure. But we all know, pressure makes diamonds. But however, nobody likes that pressure at all. But I came to a point where I turned that pressure into my process. And that process is the individual that you're seeing right now, the speaker that you're seeing right now, the coach that you're seeing right now, the mentor that you're seeing right now is because of the process that I've been going through. So yes, pain is power. If you go onto my IG or my YouTube or my TikTok, and the reason why it's pain is power is because I've been through several different pain points in my life that I allow now my doubt to be discipline, right? I allow my fear to be faith. And we can't allow our negative pain points to be another negative thought. Like you don't want to do that. You want to turn that negative into a positive. People ask me, how do you do that? What do you mean pain is power? Because there is always light at the end of the tunnel if you actually focus on taking one step at a time and don't overcomplicate it. It might seem like you're overwhelmed. You might seem like it feels like you're never going to get to where you need to get to. But like I talked about the transformation of me right now, and Luke can contest to this, is that even speaking to Luke right now, talking to Luke, him and I on two different platforms, we are both grown in so many areas of our life as speakers, as influencers, as coaches, as mentors, compared to when him and I first met when we was trying to figure it out. So if you listen to this podcast right now, you might be in your transformation where you're just trying to figure it out. You like power talk, Luke, like I'm in the middle of my transition. I'm in the middle of my process. I'm just trying to figure it out. Stay locked in. Take notes every day of your ups and your downs to make you the person that you're going to be later on. But however, the more that you endure the process, the more that you hang in there, the more that you get back up, the more that you say to yourself, that's all you got? Like, that's all you got? That's it. Because guess what? As long as you have life, you have air in your lungs, as long as you can get up, like Les Brown say, if you fall down and you look up, then you can get up. So that's really a little bit of my story, just to kind of sum it up. Yes, I've been through a lot of childhood trauma. I've been through some things in my current life, as far as almost lost my company, went bankrupt, had to fight back to rebuild everything back up. So therefore, I don't want to focus all on me. I want to focus on the people that's listening right now and let you know that it can be done if you get back up. It can be done if you change your mindset. If you tell yourself, I'm going to conquer my day. Like I love David Goggins. And one thing I do when I study David Goggins is that I study the mindset of somebody that won't give up. Somebody that no matter how bad you get beat in life, how bad life is, you might not can't pay your mortgage right now. You might just came from a breakup. You might be in a dark place right now. But as long as you have a strong mindset and you work on that mindset on a daily basis, then you're going to get to a place in your life of peace. And Luke, he's the king of really locking in on your peace and your self-love. So how do you get that peace and that self-love? It's your own mindset. So that's guys, that's a little bit about who I am. That's a little bit about what my pedigree is, what my DNA is. My DNA is get back up, never give up. We win or we win. Pain is power. Yeah, I know there's words of affirmations. There's powerful words. But besides the words that I give you, and the words you see that's on my shirts, on my hats, or on my social media, I live these words. Like I get up every day and I'm fighting every day, but I'm in a good fight because it's a fight of life to grow to be the person that you need to be. Like I'm big on planting seeds in life. So when Luke and I met, we both planted seeds because we both had a vision. And we said, you know what? We want to be these great coaches, these great influencers. I remember when I first met Luke, like Luke had probably 1,000 followers, 500 followers, right? Now Luke got almost 1 million on TikTok. He almost got 1 million on Instagram, like almost 1 million on Facebook. So it shows you that everything big started out small. But however, Luke and I, we both have been through our process and our transformation. And even Luke at his 1 million followers and me with my followers on my platform, we're still in our process. We're still in our transformation. There's always a new level that you're going to have to address and get to. And then now that's going to be your ceiling. Then eventually it's going to be your floor, and you're going to have a new ceiling. So you can't give up, because if you can't handle, I'm going to say one more thing, I'll turn over to Luke. If you can't handle the process that you at now, you're not gonna be able to handle the next level that's waiting for you. So my transformation was allowing me to now appreciate and to be able to get through my first level of life before I was able to get to that next level of what you're seeing right now. But we gotta still keep going. We gotta keep moving forward. So appreciate your process. Appreciate every step that you're taking, because you need these necessary steps to get to the bigger steps.
Powerful, man. Just the one word, powerful, bro. While I'm listening to you share, all I'm reflecting on is your growth, because if you had, like, go back and find the interview with David Power Talk. I think it's not in one of the hundreds. It's probably 89 or 87. You'll hear a different version of David Power Talk. And like what I've witnessed and watched you do, like 2022 was huge for you, man. Like before 2022 started, it's like you were like stepping into, like you got back on your feet back in 2021. You got back to business. I remember talking about, how, you don't want to take your business for granted, and you've created this company and all this kind of stuff. But then at the same time, your calling is so deep within you that like it couldn't, like, it's like your soul was like, yeah, look, I know you can do construction. I know you can become successful there and shit, but bro, you got to get out there, man. You got to speak. You got to coach people. You got to motivate people. That's your calling. And it wasn't long before, you saw David, like, he asked me a few questions. He sent me a few messages on WhatsApp. He's like, how are you doing your business? How are you creating everything? What platforms are you using? Right. And then before you know it, I'm looking at his website and he's starting to do workshops. He's starting to do events. He's like taking action. And that whole year, 2022, all I watched David do was create events. Like get out there. And obviously that meant investing in himself, getting a mentor, going to these seminars and workshops to learn these new systems and how is he going to be able to, attract the audience or get people into the room. And like I saw it without being with him. I was watching and observing all of his action, which is absolutely extraordinary, because I'm listening to you speak, bro. And all I can hear is someone who is providing value to, it's not about you anymore. It's about them. It's about who's listening. And it's like, I'm listening to a coach. I'm listening to a motivational speaker. There's a different level of self-awareness that you have versus who you were a couple years ago when we first were getting into this, where you were that motivational speaker, but now it's like on a different frequency of like real appreciation for like what you've had to go through and how now you can use your language and communication to be able to serve others, and it is a process. I'm in the process. You're in the process. I feel like I'm still in the cocoon. I'm still learning. I'm still developing. I'm still growing my wings before I can absolutely fly out there, and it's crazy because like you look at, you say you got to go through this part of the journey before you go through or be able to handle what's on the other side or what's on that next level. And it's so true because you can't skip the process. So many people want fame, want credibility, want authority, want to be that dude or that person or that girl that is so influential and people love them. And it's like you want to get to that status because, you may feel insecure within yourself that you're not getting enough attention. You didn't get validated when you were a child, or you didn't get enough love. And so you're seeking that external support or that external love from others. And so having so many followers is going to change that. Or having that exposure to the world and people seeing you is going to change that. But so many people want to skip the process because they want to get to that status, right? It's like when I was selling some cocaine and stuff to my friends, it made me feel like it gave me status. I felt good because people were calling me. People were calling me to get the shit because I was the one that had it. Because I remember being like, you know what, I'm using this stuff all the time. I'm sick and tired of calling other people to get it. Why don't I just get a lot of it for myself? And then that meant that, hey, call Luke. He's got it. And so that made me feel like I was a somebody, that I was getting attention. And so this whole journey of your success and growing, it's like you have to trust the process, but you have to go through the process. And skipping the process, you're going to learn that it doesn't work like that. And I really believe that you can feel the energy, the frequency of the other person when you spend a little bit more time with them, because what they show on social media or their websites or whatever it is versus you connecting with them in person, you can feel whether or not the person is a load of shit or if they really are genuine. And you can feel the energy and what they share, So for anyone out there who is trying to skip the process or not go through what you're supposed to do, you're kidding yourself. And like I feel it because I'm in the midst of my own storm. I'm in the midst of my own challenges all the time. There's always something that I have to show up and do, or that I'm not doing, or that I'm making a mistake on or failing on. And I have to check myself and I have to go, bro, you got to process this. You got to take action. You can't skip the process. You have to go through it, and that's exactly what you did, bro. Like you went through it. Like I remember when you were gone for a year and I was like, where the fuck is he?
Right.
Like he just disappeared, like completely, like left Instagram and everything. Mm-hmm. So, and I had to give you space, you needed that time to reflect and it's like, you had to hit rock bottom again, right. And like I've hit it and like I've been thinking about it. I'm like, okay, now that I've got out of that, I need to make sure success leaves clues, right? And it's so easy to take your success for granted.
Yep.
I'm checking myself now because I can even feel myself that, I've gotten to this level where I've gotten comfortable. And I feel like everything's just going to come to me and it's all going to work. And I'm like checking myself because I'm like, no, bro, don't get complacent, right? Don't think that just because you've gotten here that it's all good. Right. Like there's so much more work to do and it's really easy to get comfortable on your journey. And that's where everything can fall apart, So congratulations, man, for freaking getting here, bro, because like even just listening to you, man, I'm inspired, I'm inspired to hear it because you're completely like a new person.
You know what, Luke? I hate people say I'm gonna be honest. It's like you lied earlier. But the version of me right now, it's like, think about it. My uncle, he's a retired airline pilot. But before he became a pilot, he had to do so many hours of flight time, right? Of training before they actually gave him his license and said, okay, now you are licensed, certified to be a pilot. We trust you to fly this plane alone. But before that, he had to do so many hours. So I'm gonna give you guys a perfect example, right? If you go to Luke TikTok, if you go to David Power Talk, if you go to our social media, right? Look at our videos, look at our content, right? Think about how many hours we have spent on making videos, editing videos, posting videos. Oh, I don't like this one. I put that one up. That one worked. That one didn't work, right? These are hours and hours of that we put up there to do what? To inspire you guys and to build our platform at the same time. So some of you right now, you're just in the midst of making your videos right now. That's all you are. And you have to appreciate that because guess what? If Luke would have never started out, or myself, doing that one video, maybe in the car somewhere and trying to figure out, hey, never give up. Hope you might have had a long day, blah, blah, blah. Compared to a video you see right now that got over 1 million views and so many shares and everything of that nature. You're not going to come out right. You're not going to come out the gate with that one viral video. I mean, some people might. Some people, they do a video, go viral. But the problem is this. You don't have content, or you don't have a library of stuff that's going to keep an audience on your platform. So therefore, like Luke and I are saying right now, appreciate the process you in, whatever journey you in right now in life. You need to appreciate that because that's going to make you the individual that people are going to sit back and be like, oh my God, you are remarkable in whatever you do, right? Like I just spoke at an event 2 weeks ago, and the theme of my keynote was that in life, I need you to dominate every area of your life. But in order for us to dominate in these areas, not just finances, not just in relationships, you have to narrow down each lane of your life and dominate in these particular areas. Now, when I spoke, of course, I was the only motivational speaker, but there was other speakers there talking about real estate, talking about other things. But when I got off stage, the first thing that everybody said to me, oh my God, I felt your energy. I felt your passion. I felt like you really was talking to me. Because when I speak, like Luke, we're speaking from our heart. We're speaking from my transformation. We're speaking from our pain. We're speaking when Luke was selling drugs, when Luke was on drugs, when Luke was doing this. So now that he's not doing these things, but that pain and that passion is still there. Like no matter what you've been through in life, you might have got over it, but it's still there. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, you might have healed. You might be a stronger individual. But yes, you think I don't think about my mother having an overdose on the floor and I was rubbing ice on her chest? You don't think about you don't think I think about when I lost everything. I'm sitting here. I can't make payroll. I can't do this. I can't do that. These things are still in our system, but we have learned to get over it and to be stronger, and to be wiser. But however, the reason why you connect with people like myself and Luke is because we allow that pain now to be our energy that you guys can use to be stronger in your area of life, because we're authentic in our trials about transformation, right? Because like every trial, there will be a transformation you will have in your life. So therefore, when you hear Luke talking on his podcast or Luke going live, and you're like, this guy is real. Like I feel everything he's saying. The reason why you feel that and you understand that because he's not a phony. He really been through some things that made him a certified coach, a certified speaker, a certified individual that really want to help you. So when you hear me, you hear my passion, you hear my voice, you just don't hear somebody that, oh, I'm a motivational speaker. That's a title I picked. I chose to do this. No, this is something that him and I have spent a lot of hours on our flight time to become a pilot as a speaker, as a coach, as a mentor. Like we put hours into this. So what the message that I'm giving you guys is listen to this podcast right now. I need you to put more hours into your craft so you can dominate in whatever area that you're doing. It could be real estate. I don't know. You could be a teacher. Whatever it is for you that's on your heart and your spirit, you have to get up every day and you have to dominate that lane and you have to dedicate those hours of doing that, because now when you go to our platforms and you see, wow, like I love your platform. I love your stuff. Oh, I needed that video. That live was so amazing. Guess what? 4 or 5 years ago, that our content was not that amazing. We had to go through our process. So therefore we can fully develop from that caterpillar to that beautiful butterfly that we are right now. But we still on our journey. Don't get me wrong. There's still a process that's left with us. There's still different levels that we're going through. But however, by us enduring those early stages of pain, those early stages of failure, even when we do have a hiccup right now, we can smile at it and we can say, "Oh, that's nothing." Like I've been through that already. Like, I lost some money. My bank account is a little low right now. Oh, I lost a mentee. No problem. I'm gonna get that back because I know I'm confident of who I am. So anybody listening to this right now, I need you to be confident in you. Like when you wake up, I need you to bet on you. You in Las Vegas, you at the casino right now, and they got your name on a table. I need you to put all chips on you every day that you wake up. Don't care about your haters. Don't care about who don't believe in you. You just right now, you have tunnel vision and you lock in on your dreams and your goals and you give it everything you got. And I'm going to tell you a secret it might not work out exactly the way you plan. It might not be the vision that you thought, I thought it was going to be like this. Don't worry about that. Whichever way it turns out, be happy with it, but just get up every day and be grateful that you have the capability to really go towards your dream or to be working within your dream. I feel like that's really the key for you to be happy on your process.
Powerful stuff again. Bro, the one area that I think challenges most people, it challenges me as well, I've had to learn this continuously over the last 5 years, is how to have a balance with being available for specific people and then not being available. How to say no and how to really make your environment a space that always complements your life throughout your journey. When you're leveling up, when you're transforming, when you're growing, when you're building a business, when you're becoming, influential, for example. So at the beginning of my journey back in 2019, I felt this just, as soon as I traveled to LA and I came to visit you, and then I came back from that trip, I had a free ticket that was given to me by one of the people that I was doing the speaking program with. And she was like, here's a ticket to Lisa Nichols' event if you want to go. Like, that's, if you want to come back. So I came back to Australia, and it was like 5 weeks later, that event. And I was thinking to myself, what do I do? I just came back. Should I go again? And then when I reached out to my cousin who was in Chicago, and she's like a second or third cousin, it's my dad's first cousin's daughter. And so I said, would it be okay if I came to stay with you guys for like 3 months? I just asked, man. And she's like, sure, of course, we'd love to have you. So I had this like feeling and this calling of like, leave, like get away from your family, get away from everything you've ever known. I realized that I was so influenced by my environment, by my family, and the thing is, I can sit here and my family could be listening to this thinking, what did we do wrong? Why don't you want to be around us? Same thing with my friends. They could think the same thing. Like, what the fuck's wrong with Luke? How come he doesn't want to talk to us anymore? And it's crazy because like, that's exactly what I did. And then I came back in July or August. I started the podcast. And then a couple of months later, I was in China. Because again, I felt I had to leave. I had to go. I'm following this internal, and like, I'm right at this place again, bro. I'm feeling it. I got to go. I got to get out. I got to leave Australia because my space is being conflicted. There's people around me. There's energy around me that isn't helping me to be where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm curious, how are you managing that? Right? Because I mean, you're married, you got a beautiful wife, you got kids, like you moved away as well from like kind of not focusing on your construction company to now doing, events and coaching, and like there's a lot of time and energy and investment into that. Is it because you're just so busy with your clients and with like these events that you don't feel guilty for just not replying to people if they reach out and say, hey man, let's catch up, or let's go for dinner, or come to this party, or whatever? Like, how are you managing that? Because I think that is probably the one challenge that most people struggle with when they're about to level up or they're about to invest in themselves or grow, how to say no to people, how to do that in a way that, I mean, it's hard. Even people are going to judge you regardless. But how have you managed that journey?
At first, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I realized that I outgrew the room that I was in. I outgrew the people. I outgrew the conversations. I outgrew the things that's not going to allow me to be the best version of myself, right? And with that being said, I know that we all know the saying, right? There's one thing you can't get back is time. So I had to come to a conclusion and say to myself, all right, listen, you can't really do certain things with these people like you used to. And you can't do some of the things that you would like to do. Like, I used to travel a lot, right? And I used to, I remember even when I used to ride motorcycles. I remember I used to finish my day and probably go riding for like a few hours, right? But however, of course, get married, kids, things change. But also, too, your purpose changed. And like your purpose has grown tremendous. And it's almost like I was watching the news and Jamie Foxx, he had a medical condition. He had like a burnout or something, right? A lot of celebrities do that, right? A lot of celebrities, they have a burnout because what happens is that people don't realize it. There's a saying, heavy the head wears the crown. What does that mean? That means that, when we get to a certain point, there's a lot of pressure on us to not just continue where we at, but now to grow. Now we have to figure a way how to balance those feelings, how to balance those emotions, and how to be happy at the same time. Now I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, because what happens, you get so caught up in this journey, you lose your happiness because you're trying to reach a certain platform or a certain level that you sit back and you're burning yourself out because you're not really happy anymore. You're so consumed on chasing something that you think is, oh, this is gonna get me here, this is gonna get me there. That I said, okay, out of this whole entire process, what do I really love the most? And I said, I love just grabbing the mic, getting on stage, putting a headset on, and just speaking to people, right? Like, of course, I love posting videos. I love editing. I love coaching, mentoring. But if I had to choose, do I want to train people to be speakers, or do I just want to go on different stages? I'll be on different stages. That's my happy spot, right? So for Luke, I would say for you, yes, to balance it out of your whole process of what you're doing, what makes you happy. And once you identify that, if the people around you are not part of that happy feeling or that happy space, you can't feel bad if you have to now disconnect yourself from that, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to find your happy space. You're the one that have to say, with 1 million followers, I am happy who I am right now on this journey, in this space, in Australia, on this podcast, with this particular situation. I am happy, and this is my happy area here. Now, whatever is conflicting you or whatever is making you feel like torn, and you're not really feeling yourself, and you're trying to struggle with certain things, those are things you got to immediately just cut out. You got to, because no matter what you choose, you have to choose something that's going to make you happy and also grow at the same time. So that's what I had to do. I had to say to myself, like, as I got into the new mentorship, that's the reason why I grew so fast. Shout out to Nehemiah Davis. Is that when I got into that, I was in a room around a lot of different people. Some people's already millionaires. Some people trying to be millionaires. Some people in the middle of their journey. So you will hear stories of somebody that said, "Yeah, I just made $1 million in one day. I just made $400,000 in one day off my digital product." And you're sitting here and you're trying to figure your whole product out. You're trying to figure your journey out. And in the midst of this room of people that you're around, you have some genuine people, and you have some people that may not be genuine. So people like Luke and myself, we have a good heart because we're big on self-development. We're big on helping people. So then when you find yourself around certain people that's just genuine, not saying that I'm not talking negative about nobody, but they don't fit your pedigree or don't fit your spirit or don't fit your energy, then it takes you away from your happy space, because now you're competing, or now you're around people that don't appreciate who you are, or you might feel like they look down at you, or they don't really understand what you really mean to this world, right? So I had to just say, you know what? This was a turning point for me also too. I had to just say to myself that I am powerful in who I am, and I just got to figure out what's my happy space. Because we had an event back in October of last year, and we had Trent Shelton as one of our speakers. And as we had Trent Shelton as one of our speakers, he's been sitting here, we're interviewing him, right? So as we interviewing Trent Shelton, this is a guy that's been speaking for a very long time. He's a big influencer, X, Y, and Z. So we asked him, how do you handle balance? Because we got family. I was like, we were glad you made it to our event. He said this to us. He said, you know what? I wasn't going to do your event, but my team went through your social media, and they said, this is a guy that you need to connect with. You guys are really going to vibe based upon what we're hearing and what we're seeing. So that means his team seen the value that I brought to this world, and he trusted them. And then at the interview, he said, I made a great decision by doing your event. I didn't know you. I only see your videos. I didn't know anything about you. But however, now I can feel your energy. I can feel how authentic you are. I'm glad that I made your event. So for you, Luke, you're going to find people that's really going to appreciate who you are, or you're going to find people that's withdrawn, that's taken away from you. It's like your checking account, right? You either make deposits or you can make withdrawals. Now, if you got people in your life that's making more withdrawals than deposits, then what happens for you? You're insufficient funds, insufficient feelings, insufficient energy, because they're doing nothing but taking away from you. Because, hey, Luke, tag me on this. Hey, Luke, let's do a duet. Hey, Luke, let's do this. Hey, Luke, what's going on with this? Hey, Luke, let's, hey, Luke, hey, Luke, hey, Luke. But outside of that, you have so many other millions of things that you're working on that you have to find your own balance, your own happy space. And there is going to be a lot of no's now compared to yeses. And the yes is really your tunnel vision or what you're really working on that's going to lead you to your happiness and keep you there. And the no's are going to grow because the bigger you get, the more people are pulling on you, like pulling from different areas. And you're trying to figure out who's authentic, who's not, what they really want. Is it genuine? Is this genuine? Like, I'm gonna use myself as a perfect example, guys. So I remember, like Luke posted one of my videos, right? This was before my IG had started getting a lot of traction. And when he posted my video, it went viral. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? So then let's say months later, I hit Luke out the blue. Like, I started getting some more traction. I say, hey, listen, this is true story. This is one of my first videos that really went viral on IG. So when I sent Luke a message, I said, Luke, this video should have went viral. Like, this is a good video. Can you redo this video on your platform to see if it catches traction? Before Luke and I talked about the video, after I left the message, the video had already went viral already, right? But Luke later on, of course, he had time. He posted a video on his platform to gain more traction, to gain more, his audience to my audience. But however, the example that I'm using is this. Luke had to come to a decision. Is Power Talk pulling on me like everybody else? Or is Power Talk genuine on making sure that he understand my happiness, what I want, or is this all just for him? So I had to sit back and I had to think, if somebody was to do that to me, how would I feel? So the connection is this, is that Luke and I, we both know that we're authentic with each other. We're authentic on helping each other to grow. So therefore, there's going to be certain people in your life that you can say yes to, but there's going to be some people that you're going to have to say no to. So I'm just giving you guys an example on that, because I'm pretty sure, Luke had a moment and had to think, hey, is Power Talk, just trying to use my leverage or whatever, or I'm just trying to help my buddy out to grow X, Y, and Z. Because if roles were reversed, I would have been like, oh my, Luke, I got you. No problem. Whatever you need, brother. I'll tag 2 or 3 more of your videos, because we understand our journey. But however, you're going to get people that meet you right away that might try to pull on you right away. Like, they just want to leverage your platform, leverage Luke Mind Power, leverage David Power Talk. They want to hurry up and jump on the bandwagon without going through the process on their own. So to answer your question, Luke, is that, yes, don't feel bad, man. Go ahead and cut out the people, cut out the situation. If that means you got to pack up and come to New York, you got to pack up, go to Cali or whatever it is. Because one thing, like when I took a year off and I was able to come back and pick it right back up, they can't never take away your gift, Luke. No matter, you have a gift that was already inside of you before you even came up with the name Luke Mind Power. You just had to develop that gift. You had to just put the reps in, the flight time, and now you're absolutely amazing. But don't do what Jamie Foxx and the other actors are doing. Don't burn yourself out because all the people that's pulling on you is not genuine. Because all the situations that's around you, it's not genuine. Because you got good energy, you got a good spirit. But what happens when you got so much going on, it's hard to balance out what's right and what's wrong. So don't allow that to take you away off of your path. Because guess what, Luke? Where you are right now, from outside looking in, brother, when I say you are killing the game right now, like you are absolutely killing the game right now. So by you knowing that, compared to where you are, when you and I, like if you look at my stories on Instagram, I tagged you on the picture when you get a chance. It was you and I sitting in a restaurant. And it was so funny. I didn't even have like a never give up hat on. I had like a Yankees hat on, but I had a never give up shirt on. You had like your flannel shirt on. And we're sitting in a restaurant in New York City. And we both are like in the beginning of our stages of growing to be where we are. Now, for us to be on Luke's podcast right now, telling you guys our stories and our journey. This is just a testimony that you can do it too. But also for Luke, this is a testimony that yes, you might need to just regroup, breathe, but don't lose the steam, because where you are right now compared to in that picture when you was at the restaurant, it's night and day. That it's like you have transformed to this whole different person that I can't even recognize, not on a negative aspect, on an all positive aspect. When I say I can't recognize, that means that if I look back at that person, that look don't even exist no more. This look right now is magnificent. So therefore, yes, there's a lot of stuff on you right now, but you're going to have to balance it out. And whatever makes you happy, Luke, you go ahead and do it. Because whatever you choose to do, you're going to win at a high level no matter what. That's just who you are. Because you're a lion. Like you get up and you kill it. You're going to figure it out, and you're going to do what's best for you. So at the end of the day, Luke, I would just cut out whoever I got to cut out and don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, man, it's a process, and the balance thing is definitely part of the journey of understanding your process and not being, even if you feel guilty. That's why I always say, what is self-love about? Self-love is about doing exactly what's right for you, even when you feel guilty for doing so. Mm-hmm. Because what you're doing is you're letting go of energy that's around you to create more space for things that are important, that are going to help you grow. But if you think about, and I think many people are in this situation, right? What I'm doing is breaking generational curses. I'm the one in the whole family that is taking shit to a whole new level that my family's never seen before. Wow. They've never experienced before. How the fuck are they supposed to know how to support me when they've never been there? Yep. Like, I'm the one that always says, don't take advice from people who haven't been where you're going. Right? And so that's why I'm like, your environment's everything, bro. Who the fuck you surround yourself with matters. You keep surrounding yourself with people who are less than you. Eventually you realize that, and again, it's not about taking things personally and judging others. It's just about being fucking aware. What do I need? Mm-hmm. What kind of people do I need around me? What kind of environment do I need around me? What is it really that is taking away my power? And sometimes that's your family. Yeah. Sometimes that's the people that you're surrounded by, that you love, that they can't give you what you need. Right. That's the awareness that I know that many people are dealing with right now, and even myself, where it's like, I've heard my mom say things to me about my business, and, she even be reluctant to be happy that I've got two of my sisters that are working with me, And I think it's just a lack of understanding, lack of belief, lack of just not being able to comprehend who I am, what I'm doing. But it's this process of pushing past all of that, and it's part of the naysayers. The naysayers can be your own family.
And you know what, Luke, you need to get it.
And anyone who it's just anyone who doesn't understand. And that's why I always say, those who judge don't understand, and those who understand don't judge. So it is a challenge, man. It's a challenge, but when you make a little bit of progress, that's why, what you're doing, what you said to me, it's a moment of self-reflection of the growth, even the confidence in speaking. Like I said, I can hear you speaking and I'm like, damn, this is a David Power Talk version fucking 7.0, but I'm the same. I can hear myself speaking right now, and all I feel is confidence. I can hear who I am today versus who I was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's crazy, man. So it's like, if I'm listening to David Power Talk now and I'm like, wow, that's called action. That's confidence. He knows his shit. Imagine who David Power Talk is going to be in 3 years' time. If David Power Talk is doing an event with 200 people, 300 people now, well, you think that David Power Talk is not going to be doing an event with 10,000, 20,000 people in 3 years' time? That's exactly right. You know what I mean? So what you think, because I'm in my office right now in my house in Sydney, this is my little podcast studio, or because I'm starting to do, episodes in person for my podcast, that's not going to become the norm, right? That when I say, hey, I'm going to have a podcast studio in Dubai, I'm going to have people flying in to do a podcast with me in Dubai, for my podcast. And that's going to become part of something that I do all the time. And it's not going to be one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Yeah. I ain't saying that shit because I don't believe it. I'm saying it because it's manifesting. It's in the process. It's happening, you know, and this is part of the journey of self-belief, of action, of consistency, of perseverance, of failing, you know, and it's like, man, the failure, the mistakes, the lessons are there for you to pick up on and to use that. As you say, you know, your pain is your power. And, you know, I've used that a lot, but what I've done, and I think I've mentioned this to you as well, and I'll ask you what you think about this, because I think it's very good to kind of deconstruct this for people who have been through trauma, who have been through abuse, who have been through toxic relationships, who have been really manipulated maybe in relationships, or really have a low sense of self-worth or self-esteem, and they just feel so depleted, drained, unhappy, depressed. Use it as fuel. Use it as rocket fuel. Like, let that pain, let the fact that you are so unhappy, and I say sometimes you need to go through shit, feel it, feel how shit it feels in this present moment right now, to realize that that's not where you belong. If you're going through hell, keep walking, because that's not where you belong. So the pain that you're feeling right now needs to be your driver. Allow it to be motivating you. Allow it for it to be that fire that you need for you to get back up, as you said, and keep moving forward, and remember that everything's temporary. So you've used your pain. You have used your pain and turned it into your power, and you have turned it into your success, right? So the thing that I learned from you, and this is how I adjusted the language, was that I turned you from your pain is your power to your peace is your power, right? Because for me, I get pissed off, man, when shit's not going my way, when I got to learn, when I got to make mistakes, when things are not going right for me. It's frustrating, okay? And I have to use that as the driver to push me forward and to keep persevering. But it's not a place that I function from when I'm in my flow. So I'm interested to hear your take on that. When you're on stage, for example, when you're coaching, right? You're not in a state, like, I know it's you know, it is like helping people understand, how do we use this energy? How do we use this pain? Use it as your power, use it to your benefit. So now I really believe, and I feel it within myself, because right now I'm in my flow. I'm peaceful, I'm calm, I'm connecting with you, we're talking, and this is my power. This is where I say, when you are in your peace, you activate your creative mind. You're in alignment, right? You're in your flow, versus being in a state of pain, aggression, angry, unhappy because of the trauma, because of the pain, because of everything that happened in the past. And this is where I'm functioning from. So, yeah, what's your take on that, man? And how does that resonate with you?
It actually makes a lot of sense, because, perfect example, a few weeks ago, I had to speak in one state at 9 a.m. And then I had to speak, then I had to speak in a whole different state, which was like a 2-hour flight, at about maybe 4 p.m. that same day. And before that, I was doing something during the week, and I probably was on about 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep throughout the whole maybe 48 hours, right? 48 hours, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a perfect example. Now, I get in the morning, I get to the hotel, by the time I get in the bed, it's 1:30. I got to get back up. It's probably like 5, because I'm preparing. I got to get ready for the car service. I get there, I go speak, and as soon as I finish, I got to get back in the car service. I got to go to the airport. I got to go to TSA. I got to land in New York. I get to New York, catch an Uber. Actually, I get to the place where I got to speak 15 minutes before I get on stage. The guy's texting me, "Hey, Power Talk, you okay? Where you at?" I didn't even know you texted me. As soon as I walked in, he was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for you. Where you been?" I said, "Man, I'm sorry. Like, the Uber, New York traffic is crazy." I said, "So when do I go up?" He said, "You go up in 15 minutes. I said, "Okay, no problem." So he told me I go up in 15 minutes. Next thing I know, by the time I went to the bathroom, by the time I said hello to somebody, "Hey, coming to the stage is David Power Talk." Boom. I go on stage. I do what I got to do. But what I want to get at is this, guys. In that whole 24, 36 hours, I was at peace, because I was doing something I love to do. And I remember I was on a plane coming from, I think, Atlanta to New York to the last speaking engagement. And I was going over my speaker notes. I had dozed off real quick, and I kind of popped back up, And I said, okay, get it right. You know, because I got a saying. You got to treat every speaking engagement like it's your first opportunity, because it's the first time people seeing you for the first time. So therefore, you got to give it everything you got. So I got back up. I started going through my notes or whatever. And then, you know, I went and did it. Now, let's put this on the other perspective. Because I have another company that build houses and do renovations and stuff like that, right? Now, if I was up for 36 hours, checking on the bathroom, checking on the kitchen, talking to clients about a new addition, dealing with an architect or dealing with employees about painting or touch-ups or something like that, I would be so stressed out. I would be in so much pain that it make me want to walk away. So the point of this message is, once you really can find something that you love to do, that's when you're going to find your peace. And in the midst of all of that, you have to say, this is my peace right here. So for instance, right, Luke got a podcast, Luke got a mentorship, Luke got this, Luke got that. Now, out of all these different categories, there's one of those things that he's really at peace with. This is when I'm in my element, right? So for me, my element is when I grab that mic and I go on stage and I'm speaking to the audience, right? That's my peace. I could do that all day long, get up and do it every day. And I'm going to be at that point where I'm speaking probably 5 to 4 times a week. Like I'm at a different location, because I just came from another mastermind. And this is another thing, Luke, for your last answer to your last question, for you, Luke, you need to get in bigger rooms. You need to get in rooms where you're the small fish in a big pond with people that is at so much of a greater level in life. They're doing so many bigger things that you're just picking up everything that they're throwing out. You're picking that up. Because what happens if you have nothing else to pick up and you're the only one throwing things out, you can't grow. So you need to get in a room where you can pick some new information up. That's the issue with you that you're struggling with right now, because you hit a ceiling. So now you got to put yourself in bigger rooms. You got in new environment, new mentors, new coaches. Not saying you got to have a new mentor, but you need to be in these other rooms. So now let's go back to what we was talking about with the peace. So far as with the peace is that, remember this, guys, in order for you to fully operate your peace, don't get discouraged with the vehicle you in right now. So some of you might be working at Amazon, but you want to be a singer. So that means at late night on the weekends, you're songwriting, you're in the studio, you're trying to get your song out. But then during the day, you got to put the Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. I'm not trying to talk bad about Amazon. You got to put your Amazon uniform on. You got to get in the van and you got to deliver the packages. That's just your vehicle to get to your permanent peace. So even me, I'm still in my vehicle because I'm not in my permanent peace yet, because I know that eventually the only thing that I will be doing is getting on different stages, walking through different stadiums and speaking to people. Because when I get off the stage, so many people come up to me and be like, Power Talk, oh my God, that was so amazing. You touched my heart. You touched my spirit. I felt your energy. Like literally, I remember when last time I spoke, as soon as I came off stage, the guys, they have a podcast. They said, brother, do you mind we interview you? I said, sure, no problem. They said, we're going to do a quick one now, but we want to do one, like, a formal one at our studio. I said, no problem. So we did a quick interview. And as he was talking to me, he said, brother, I want to say something. You just came off stage and I still got goosebumps. I can still feel your energy just by just talking to you about who you are and what you do, right? So guys, whatever you dream about doing, whatever is your goal, that's your peace, because you're going to love doing. If it's baking cakes, you make that big cake for that wedding, that's your peace. For Luke, if it's the podcast, if it's the coaching, if it's the speaking, whatever is that peace, you double down on that and you just have a vivid vision. Like my last room I was in, it said, okay, it's good to have a vision, but if you don't have a vivid vision, you're never going to get to where you got to get to. So let's say for me, right? I'm giving you as an example. Let's say I want to speak to 10,000 people at a stadium. Okay, that's my vivid vision. But now I have to set my foundation now up. Like I'm already going to be ready to speak to 10,000 people. That means I need maybe 2 VAs. Maybe I need a new speaker manager. Maybe I need to, make sure all my social media platform, my press kit, everything is up to date. So I had a meeting today with one of my main VAs. And I said, listen, this is my vision for the next 6 months to 12 months of the things that I plan on doing. So now we need to set the foundation now that can handle my vivid vision that I have in front of me. Because Luke just said he's going to be doing podcasts only in a studio for now on. So therefore, that's his vivid vision. He has to map out his next people that he want to interview, maybe in certain areas, fly them out, whatever it looks like, find a studio, build it, whatever it looks like for his vivid vision. He got to map that out now. And he got to say, okay, well, I need an editor. I need an audio person. I know he has all this, but I'm just using this as an example. But guys, so whatever your vivid vision is, you need tonight or whenever you hear this podcast, you need to write down what are the steps it's going to take for you to fully operate in your vivid vision to give you your peace.
Thanks for the tips, man. Honestly, like this is, and then you're right. You're really right. Like people can probably listen to this and going, "Damn, Luke's getting a coaching session from David Powell." but no, for real, man. This is part of the process of like who you surround yourself with. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important to have people in your life that push you and that can see the things that you might not be able to see within yourself. But, I genuinely, even though you say that, you're like, you need to get in bigger rooms. And it's like, I know. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I feel it. I feel like, yeah, okay. I've been living in this house for the last, 5 and a bit months. And it's like, it's enough. It's like, I can't stay here anymore. And it's like, I have to check myself because I'm like, am I not being grateful? Because, you can go, well, you should be grateful, like be grateful. But I'm just, it's not about that for me, man. I'm an independent. I don't have any dependence. My purpose is to expand. My purpose is to grow. And that's like Tony Robbins says, progress equals happiness. And it's like, if you're not making progress and you're staying the same, guess what? That's what I always say. That's one of the reasons why you fall into depression, why you fall into a state of lack or unhappiness, because you ain't moving, right? You're in your own way. So having a vision, having a goal, having something that you're working towards that's exciting, that excites you, that gets you up in the morning, that inspires you to like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to move over here, or I'm going to go here, or I'm going to do that, right? That's the whole purpose of, I believe I asked my dad this question when I was living with my parents a couple of years ago. What is the purpose of life? And he just answered so simply. It's like he's a philosopher that we don't know about. To grow. That's what he said. I said, what's the purpose of life? He said, to grow. So you're going to ask yourself the question right now, are you growing? Are you becoming more? Or are you staying the same? You don't want to I've said this so many freaking times on the podcast. Send me a direct message. If you want to grow, if you're still the same person that you are 6 months ago or 12 months ago, like, man, you want to check yourself, man, because you're wrecking yourself. Like, you're losing power. You're losing time. Like, this is the most precious commodity that you have. You can't buy it. You can't go to the department store tomorrow and go, I want the last 12 months of my life again. Because I wasted it, because I was living in fear, or I doubted myself too much, or I wasn't leaving that toxic relationship or that toxic workspace because I was scared of the future or what might happen. And so I stayed, and now I look back and I'm living in regret that I should have left 6 months ago. I should have left 12 months ago, or whatever, and so that's the emphasis on it. But I think that we do waste a lot of time. We procrastinate too much. And again, it's all mentality. Right? It's your mindset. It's the way you think. And if you don't change the way that you think, then your mind will continue to control you. And there's always that resistance to the next level. And so it is challenging, and that's why I believe that, having podcasts like this and having people like ourselves that, show up and speak and share, we're being those leaders that people need to help them to get out of their own rut or, dark place that they're at, and realize that, if they can do it, so can we. I'm not sitting here pretending that I'm perfect, bro. I'm a work in progress. And I know you are too, man. Like, I know that people can look at your work on social media, and I've heard this many times, bro. People look at social media and it's all perfect. The one reason why it's fucking perfect is because no one wants to fucking talk to someone who feels depressed and is unhappy. Does that mean that we don't have our fucking down days, that we don't feel like shit sometimes? It's fucking true. But when you show up on for your business, who the fuck wants to work with you if you are unhappy? It's the truth, you know, but everyone on social media shows up with all perfect smiley faces like everything's amazing, and people are saying it's fake. It's not fake. It's part of business. You know, it's part of you having to show up every single day and hustle for what you want, because you ain't going to get it unless you hustle, unless you go for it, and you have to earn it. You know, success is earned. It's not something that just happens overnight. You know, you have to put your energy towards it. I'm very grateful for you, man. You know, you inspire me a lot, and I know that, you know, you receive the energy that I give, and I know that we're different, you know. But that's part of the beautiful open friendship that we have, and I believe that, you know, communication and having the right people in your life is really, really important. And it's amazing to still be connected with you since we started connecting back in end of 2018, beginning of 2019, and to have watched kind of evolution, you know, over the last 5 years. Like, I have grown so much. You have changed so much as well, which is extraordinary. But I want to be vulnerable for a moment here, bro, because, and I'm always, you know, I always try to, you know, keep it real as much as I can, because I really believe that, as I said, we're leaders, people follow us, you know, we have a big audience. And, you know, I got to also commend you on your content on TikTok as well, man, because what you've done over the last year and, you know, beginning of 2022, and you showing up and posting your motivational videos on TikTok, going live, you know, and even when I've gone live, I join you on live on TikTok, and listen to this, guys, every fucking time I have gone to join David Power Talk on live on TikTok, not live, like I'm just there. I'm in the chat. He will say the same thing, right? He will say, man, Luke Mindpower, you know, he's the reason why I'm on TikTok. If it wasn't for Luke Mindpower, I wouldn't be here, you know? And he would say that every time. And it was like so many times that he's been on TikTok, and he's built his following organically because of his consistency, because of him taking action, because of him showing up and making these videos, right? And I know myself, the algorithms, I know myself how hard it is to build an audience on TikTok, but let alone not do a variety of things, because, you know, I went from speaking, comedy, dancing, David Power Talk, and I was watching other speakers and other people showing up and creating their content as speakers. And David Power Talk is different, because I've seen other speakers try to grow and they're struggling, man. They're posting every day, they're staying consistent, and they're just not getting the traction. But David Power Talk, fuck, I was like the algorithm is working for him, right? And you got it, bro. Like, it's like, it makes sense, you know, when you invest in yourself, and when you show up and you stay consistent, and you have the right people in your life, and you post, and you give that passion, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between someone posting a video and saying, hey man, like, if you're struggling today, like, you know, just don't give up, like, keep going. You got this different energy and aura about you that when someone sees your video, right, you have this physical energy and attraction that people are like, damn, who's that? You know? And so that's been extraordinary to watch your success and how much you've grown because of your consistency, but just sticking to that niche, right? Just sticking to your speaking, because I know that, right, if anybody doesn't know, there was a moment back in 2021, I think it was, where David said, hey, Luke, man, like, stop dancing, you know? Just focus on, like, if you're marketing yourself, you know, focus on your message, focus on you being a motivational speaker, because if people are looking at you, they're going to be like, why would we work with Luke Mindpower? And it's like, well, because he's a motivational speaker. That's what he's posting on his content. But I chose not to take that advice, because I felt it within myself that this is something I love. It's something I enjoy. And also it's something that works, right? And whether it was comedy, you know, and that's why I say, do whatever it takes. And for me, I was doing comedy. I remember someone saying, you're just doing comedy because you're getting a lot of attention, right? And I was like, yeah, but I've got the confidence to fucking do it. And not everybody does, right? So I grew a massive audience using comedy as my platform, and then I changed it to dancing. And then I started incorporating, like I would go live on TikTok speaking, and people would be like, where's the dancing guy? I'm like, that's fucking me. No, where's the comedy guy? I'm like, that's me. I speak as well. So I did everything that it took for me to grow and to build the platforms that I have. And I was willing to do that. I don't need to just stay to one. But going back to friendships, we've been through a lot, man. And over the last 6 months or that, there's been a couple of situations that have occurred. And I'm going to own up to this, bro, because I believe that true friendship and real friendship is authentic and it's transparent. And, we've been through so much and nobody knows our story. No one knows how we met. No one knows what we've gone through, how we've learned and supported each other over the last 5 years. And I had somebody that, that I was close with, or that I'm still kind of close with. But again, I believe that it's always just a misunderstanding. It's always a lack of understanding, a lack of appreciation, right? And people can judge because of what they think and see. So I had someone say to me, I don't really vibe with that David Power Talk guy. I don't think he's good for you, And this was when you were giving me this opportunity to come to Atlanta, And that triggered the shit out of me, man. Because I was like, who the fuck do you think you are telling me that David Power Talk is not good? Right? And so again, like this is the kind of like people that you have in your life that can say something to you, or they don't see what you see, they have an experience. And then, what I did with that is I took this person for a walk and I explained to them why I had the connection that I have with you and a bit of our story, what we've been through, right? And literally one of the things that I said was that you were there for me when I had no one. You were there for me when I didn't believe in myself. Like you were there for me when I didn't know how to keep going, and you were that light for me. And so no one understands that. Right? This person couldn't appreciate that. But they made a judgment of a small piece of information and they projected that information to me. Right? And this is how easy it is for people to make the wrong decisions in their life because they listen to somebody else's opinion that doesn't know the truth. Right? So that was something that occurred. And then about 2 or 3 months ago, bro, I got a message on Instagram. And this message came from some person. I don't know who they are. And basically they're talking to me and messaging me saying that I thought you were friends with David Power Talk, but what I just heard him talk about on Instagram Live with 4 other people, that he was saying some shit about Luke Mindpower and that he's stabbing you in the back. And then they said that I had to get off that Instagram Live because I couldn't listen to it anymore. And I read this, bro. And you know what I let them do? I let them doubt our friendship. This one person that I don't even fucking know. Right? And it made me think. It's like, and it almost feels like the devil. It feels like this negative energy is like, it will come for you, man. It will come and it will try and tear apart the things that you've created in your life. And a lot of those are friendships, solid foundations that you've built and spent and invested time into. And they will come and try to tear you apart. It can be relationships. Other people will come in your way and try to, give their opinion or say something specific because they're jealous or because they don't agree or because they don't like it or whatever. And it can even just be a misunderstanding because the truth is people hear things differently. And it's so easy to make an assumption. But the one thing that I know with relationships in communication and transparency is that in order for there to be trust, that's something that I believe takes time. In a relationship, it takes time. You don't just trust someone just because you've known them for 3 months. So when I heard that, bro, I pulled back, and I was just like, I didn't know what to say. And I didn't feed into it, but I shared it with a friend of mine, and I was like, well, why don't you write back and ask her, like, what did they say? And I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking feed into it. I'm not interested. I want to engage with this person. So I just left it, and I just, I left it with myself. I left it with myself to decide, right? Who do you believe? Do you believe yourself? Do you believe the evidence? Do you believe the time? Do you believe the friendship? Like when I was fucking down and out and I lost all my fucking money and I was working with that mentor, who did I go to? Who did I speak to? Who gave me advice? David Power Talk. Who was there? You know what I mean? And it's like actually pisses me off, that someone can come into your life that you don't fucking know and send you some information and you question yourself. You doubt yourself. You doubt the friendship. So I just want to let you know that these are the kind of things that I'm dealing with, bro. Because people are fucking trying, and it's like this dark energy will try and come into your life and lead you astray.
Well, Luke, I want to say that there's not 1 ounce minute of negative energy or negative thoughts that I have towards you or ever even said behind the scenes or on a live or anything. Like first of all, even if it was somebody that has probably done something to me, I still wouldn't give them that light. So for somebody that I admire, that inspired me, that's a friend of mine, there is no rhyme or reason that I would have to even let something come out of my mouth or my spirit to bring you down or put you in a negative light, So I just want to say, to you is that what happens is that people see things that they can't control, and it upsets them to see the light that we're in right now. It upsets them to see our relationship. It upsets them to see that no matter what things we've been through in our life, we still get up and we keep going. Like you said, we've been through a transformation. We've been through some failures. We made some mistakes. Yeah, we all made some mistakes. I made several mistakes. But one thing about making mistakes, even though you can't turn back the hands of time or fix it, you have the opportunity to be better the next day. So therefore, those mistakes don't happen again. And like one of my mentees says, she says, my past don't define me. My past refine me. So as anybody listening to this right now, you're going to get people that's always going to try to judge you or come to your old address. But you don't live there no more. You moved on. You're in a new house. You're in a bigger house. You're in a bigger mind space, and mindset. But however, what happens is that people want to go back to their old address and they want to say that you still live there. But you had moved on to a whole different new address, a new cul-de-sac. You got a new high rise. You got a whole different mindset now. So, and that's me and you. Like I am so past. I probably went through, and I still have it a little bit, not that much though. I went through a little bit of trauma based upon what I've been through when I was getting attacked from all areas because of, think about it. You're a motivational speaker, right? You're helping people, developing people, and then you make this big mistake. You lose all this money. You can't finish job. Everybody's attacking you, calling you this, calling you that. When you just did something that most entrepreneurs do, you fell flat on your face. You went broke, and it wasn't intentional, but it was just bad business. You're just trying to figure life out, right? You didn't have the right mentor or coach. But the thing about it is you owned up to it. You said, you know what? Yep. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that to make things right. Right. You can't fix it, but you can learn from it. Right. But however, I would say that there was a time that I used to care about somebody sending a DM or tagging me on something or trying to bring up my past or whatever. Right now, I don't like when I tell you I don't care, I don't give a rat's, you know what? I don't, because I'm confident in who I am right now. I could make a mistake tomorrow and lose a contract and say to somebody, I lost it because of this, X, Y, and Z. But however, I know tomorrow I'm going to do this better so that don't happen again. Because if you keep judging somebody based upon their past or things that they've been through or things they trying to get over, that just shows your true character of really of who you are. You see what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact, God would have not put me in this space of self-development, this space of pouring into people if he knew that my heart wasn't pure. If he knew that this man is anointed to just touch so many lives, like just that's not the ones I touched already, but the ones I'm going to touch. There's people that that's going to hear this podcast for the very first time, and they're going to say, "Wow, I needed this. I needed that." And you're going to some people I'm gonna meet outside of this podcast. Going to say, "Oh my God, I'm glad that I met you." You know, so I'm really I'm so beyond that nothing can faze me anymore. People can say what they want to say, do what they want to do, because I know that my journey is so much bigger compared to where I have came from, that it doesn't faze me. But one thing of our friendship, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you shared that with me, because you can tell from my heart, you can tell from my energy that I'm that same guy in that picture that I posted on my story when I knew we had this podcast coming up today, and I tagged you on it, and I said, my brother Luke, you know. But you know, and that's what happens when you start to grow. People are going to.
But bro, you didn't even have it all. You didn't even have it all figured out in New York when I came and met you, man. You was dealing with shit, bro. I remember.
And I didn't even tell you. Like I think I was going through it then, or I don't know. Like I was in the midst of it, trying to figure it out then. You know, but that's how life is. Sometimes you're in the middle of a storm and you're still trying to figure it out. But the true champions, the true warriors, even in the middle of your Cat 5 storm, you still walk out that door with your head up. You still walk in that room like you say, you know what? It's okay. I got this. I'm going to be better, because I know that this is temporary. I know I'm going to get through this. I know I'm going to win or I'm going to win. That's it. I don't have a shirt on that says I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. No, I'm going to win or I'm going to win. There's no other options.
Or I'm a win or maybe I'm going to win.
Right, or maybe I'm going to win.
It's like, no, man, there's no maybes. There's no maybes. Yeah, man. I said this at the beginning of this year. I said, it's not maybe we're going to win. Maybe this year's going to be amazing. Maybe I'm going to succeed. Maybe things are going to work out for me. I was like, I'm fucking certain. I want you to get certain with your success. Get certain with what you're doing. Get certain with what you're focusing on. Get certain with what you're going to achieve. Get certain with what you're manifesting, you know, because too many of us are like living like, oh, you know, yeah, maybe things are going to work out, or maybe it's going to happen, or, oh, you know, and it's like, nah, bro, you got to have confidence in that shit with what you're focusing on, what you're trying to, you know, grow. But this is the one thing that you will continue to learn from myself and David, is that a friendship evolves because it's authentic, because you can have these kind of conversations, and you know, we're doing this on a podcast. You know, this is not me and David talking on WhatsApp. There's like thousands of people listening to this. And the reason why I believe that it's important is because many people have fake relationships. Many people have people in their life, they're not fucking real, man. They're not really for you. Deep down, they want you to lose. And the only way that you can evolve as a friendship or relationship is for you to keep it real, is to be authentic. That's why I always say, like, I said this in the previous episode, if you want to step into your purpose, you want to step into alignment, want to step into your power, you got to be authentic. As long as you are deviating from your path and not speaking your truth and not being real, you're going to keep going in the wrong direction. You know, and that's not a cliche why they say the truth will set you free. It will. right? And the one thing that I'm willing to do, bro, is I am willing to be open, to speak my truth, and to share and be vulnerable at the expense of whoever it is turning around and going, you know what? Fuck Luke. He's not for me. Or knowing that now about him, I don't want to be around him anymore. Like, that's how authentic I want to be. Right? And that's, I believe you will never lose the right people. What's for you is for you. It will always be for you. But I believe that being authentic is what's going to attract the people that are meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
Powerful shit.
Good, man. This is good. This is good, man.
Yeah, man. Bro, I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for not giving up. Thanks for being in that dark place where, you told me that, you wanted to commit suicide. You were done. And you fucking pulled yourself out of that, man. You pushed, you believed, you kept showing up, and I'll be honest, I haven't been able to, look at as much as your content in the past, as I used to. But just all I need to hear is what you've shared with us today. And I think that's just part of the process as well. It's like, I'm freaking hustling, you're hustling, we're doing our thing. But I truly believe that, when the time is right, as we've said it in the past, that we will grace the stage and freaking own it. And it's going to be amazing, man. And I'm really looking forward to that because it's inevitable. It was in Chicago when you said that to me the first time. You said, you're going to get me on stage, and that's something that it has to be earned. I know that it's not something that, just because you're mates or whatever, that you're going to be like, yeah, let's come on stage. It's like, nah, bro, you have to show up, you have to deliver, you have to become, in order for you to attract these kind of opportunities, you have to grow, So, I remember you saying that to me, man. And that was like, and it's these little things, I remember listening to that WhatsApp message when I was in Chicago and you said, I'm going to get you on stage. And hearing that made me believe that it's possible.
Of course.
Just like I do to my own clients. I'm like, I know your power. I can see it. Right? And that's the thing. People can see in you what you can't see in yourself. And that's why, again, it's important to have the right people in your life. So thanks for having my back, bro. I always talk about having your own back, but you've had my back since day one.
Thank you too, brother. Same thing, man. Iron sharpens iron. I just want to say, man, I'm so proud of you, brother. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for being Luke. And that's one thing, guys, if you listen to this podcast right now, you listen to two friends in two different continents, right? Two different countries, right? Two different cities that respect, admire, and love each other. And this is how friendship should be, right? You should be able to talk about the good and should be able to talk about the bad. And you should not be offended by either one of them. Because at the end of the day, people have feelings. People have a heart. People got a pulse. People got energy. So sometimes your energy or your heart is offbeat, or the energy is not there because of something. But when the friendship is genuine, it gets right back on track. The harmony, it comes right back. The beat comes right back because the core of the friendship, the core of that relationship is so solid. The foundation is so strong that no matter what people say or do, we can't break that bond because we've both been through so much in our lives. And just to see both of us here right now, and even where we're about to go, that anybody listening to this is possible.
Bro, the next one's in a studio.
Yeah, definitely. We got to.
The next podcast is in a studio.
Let's do it.
And that's going to be freaking powerful, man.
That's going to be crazy.
Hey, man. So tell us what's going on. What have you got happening? Where can people follow you? What events have you got happening? Where can people see you? Fill us in, man.
Wow. I'm so glad you said that. So listen, guys, David Power Talk, Instagram, TikTok, my website, you name it, Facebook, everything is at at David Power Talk, right? So what I have coming up now, I have as far as speaking engagements, like I'm probably speaking every 2 weeks now. I got one coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got another event I'm speaking in June, end of May and then June. And then I'm speaking again in July, speaking in September. So I have a lot of different things going on as far as me speaking. I got a couple of schools I'm going to, of course, to donate my time before graduation. But however, my event, I have a workshop coming up in June where I give my mentees the opportunity to speak on stage and we train them. And then I have another big mastermind coming up in October. So that's October 29th weekend. I have that. And just today, it's so crazy. I was talking to my main DA. So March 9th, 10th, March 8th, 9th, and 10th of 2024, I'm going to have my first David Power Talk Pain is Power conference. I know you guys seen my masterminds, you've seen my different events I have, but this one, this is my conference. This is going to be just David Power Talk Pain. It's my turn to speak. This is not a mastermind where you come in and we bring you on to join our community. This is solely for you to buy tickets and you come to get motivated to turn your pain into power, to be more powerful in life, and understand that your pain is really your power to do whatever you want to do. That's the theme of it. That's what we're going to do. So it's going to be my birthday weekend for 2024. That's going to be my first main conference. And I'm putting this in the atmosphere right now. Luke My Power going to be on stage and he going to be there 2024 of next year. And that's going to be, so that's really what I got mapped out, man. That's my vivid vision. So you got June, October, and we got March. And in between that, man, is just really just putting out a bunch of content.
So best place for people to see these events and these opportunities to see you speak and shit is on your website?
Yeah, go to my website or just follow me on IG at David Power Talk because I post everything real time when we have something coming up. So this way you guys can stay in tune.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, David Power Talk, man. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. I love you, man. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and your wisdom, most importantly, because what you just shared, I know, has changed people's lives. Thank you.
This is very powerful. No, thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you're ready to grow and reach your full potential and find inner peace, send me a DM that says, I want inner peace, and I'll send you the next steps. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you change your mind, you change your whole life. So don't hesitate and send that DM over to me. Myself and my team can't wait to meet you and witness your transformation in full glory. See you next week.